Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. We're at the Animal 2 gym over here in the Putuo district. Let's talk about pool noodles and reaction time. No, not really pool noodles. This is an object lesson. So I made a video a while back where we were emulating a baseball bat with a pool noodle, and a lot of people yelled about that. Oh, it doesn't move the same way. That's not what this is about. We're talking about reaction time. There was one comment that really got me thinking, and I want to talk about that. So we picked apart a choreographed sequence from Detroit Urban Survival. It's a very popular self-defense channel, and our friends over at Detroit Urban Survival show a baseball bat defense where the guy swings the bat and the other guy, perfectly timed, comes up and blocks it and takes the bat away, okay? And we emulate that technique, and here he swings it, here swing the bat, but the thing is, the difference is we weren't doing it choreographed. We weren't rehearsed. So I didn't know when he was going to swing it. It was just whenever he felt like it, from whichever angle. So I don't know if it's coming that way or this way or whatever. Anyway, the point is, if he starts swinging first and then I react, I'm losing. Now let's throw this away and let's talk about punches and programming your opponent, okay? There was a demo that Bruce Lee did. It's very famous. He had a karate guy, and the karate guy had his hands down, right? And Bruce Lee, he wanted to throw a punch and get very close to the karate guy's face, right? And the karate guy was basically dared to block the punch before Bruce could get close to the face like this. And he had his hands down. Under that specific set of rules, the karate guy already lost the bet, and Bruce already won. And it had nothing to do with how fast Bruce Lee was. Yeah, that might surprise you. That was entirely based on positional advantage. My hand is 3 times farther away. It's got to travel 3 times farther to intercept. Fast, with the lead hand. Okay, ready? Okay, so we've never done this before. Tianyu's never practiced this drill before. And even then, what was that, like 3 times out of 5, I wasn't able to block it. Why? Even though I know it's coming, I know which hand he's going to do it with, he's got a positional advantage. All right, Tianyu, I'm going to do the same thing. You try to block before I can get my hand to your face. Okay, ready? Okay, so it's the same thing. It's not that I'm faster and he's slower. It's not that I have blinding Bruce Lee legendary speed. It's that my hand is already 2/3 of the way here, right? And his hand is farther away. It takes less time for my hand to come here than it takes for his hand to come there. What I'm telling you is that if you're reacting, you're losing. If you're reacting, you're losing. So let's change your mindset about fighting. A lot of people have this idea that you see an attack coming and then you block it. No. You program yourself to move in certain patterns that will reduce your likelihood of getting hit. So for example, I will train myself to move off the center line with my head when I throw straight punches. So if Tian is throwing straight punches at me, so hands up here, straight punches at my head, right? My head is always moving off the center line. So if he's throwing straight punches or I'm throwing straight punches, look, now he's going to miss most of those. If he's punching at me, right, and move the head at the same time, look at that. We're going to slip at least 50% of the punches just by default, just by being in the right place at the right time. Or after a combination, if I'm not punching, I'm going to start moving my head up and down. So if he's throwing a hook or something like that, so remember, up and down, left and right. Yeah, he's going to miss most of those hooks just by moving in an intelligent way, right? A pre-programmed way. Now, where we really fail in fighting is where we fall for traps, when we start seeing, when we start looking for the details. Because let's say I throw a leg kick, boom, right? Boom. And when I pump the hips out like this, it's stupid, it looks silly, but it often gets the same reaction as that leg kick, boom. Or this step right here, right? If I set my leg kick up with a step, boom, he starts to react like that. And maybe he starts to check. Right? I don't want to get my kick checked, so maybe I take a step, right? And he starts to check, and I come under, and now I throw a calf kick instead, or he lifts up the leg, and I come all the way under and sweep that leg, right? Or what else? Maybe I start, again, kicking the leg, boom, and I give him that feint, boom, and then I come up high, right? We programmed the guy. How about catching kicks? There was a video some dude on the internet made a while back, and he said whenever he tries to catch a kick, he's a little bit too slow, and he ends up just taking all the force to the body because he's too slow. I'll tell you why you're too slow, because you're reacting instead of acting. So if I want to catch a kick, I will program him to throw a kick at me when and where I want him to. How? I'll kick him first. Little throwaway, nothing kick right there. And when I kick you, Tinyu, you probably want to kick me back. Yeah, probably the same spot. It's the mentality, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. If I push him, there's a high probability he'll push me back. Go ahead. If I hit him, boom, there's a high probability he punches me back. I punch him in the face, he wants to punch me. I kick him, boom, he wants to kick me. What do? I catch it because I know where it's coming, and now I can get my takedown. Boom, right? My very last professional fight ended this way. My opponent, Wang Guan, UFC veteran, China national Sanda champion, awesome fighter, ended my career by programming me. We went out there. What did I do? Well, I fell for the trap. He threw a little nothing leg kick, boom, really fast. Boom. I threw one right back, same place, same time, boom. And that was it, man, knockout. Quick side note, this movement. Do you recognize that from karate forms or taekwondo forms? Why do you pull one hand into the ribs and this one comes out? I'm pulling the leg in and I'm pushing this out. This is a grab. Anytime you're pulling a hand down to the hip in a form, that's a grab. You're holding on to something. If he grabs my wrist, here, grab this, no. Right, and I pull this here, grab it, no. And I pull this in, there's a counter pull right here, right? If he grabs this like that, and I pull this in, boom, that's a counter pull, boom, right? So there's counter pressure in all of those. So one more time, I just programmed him. Now he's doing exactly what I want him to do. If you're moving intelligently the right way all the time, you're moving on autopilot. You're not thinking, when is the punch coming? When do I move? Oh, it's too late. Always be moving. If you're not punching, you're moving your head and you're moving your feet. So if and when he punches, punch when you want, go ahead. Go ahead, punch, right? You know, I'm moving intelligently. My hands are up here to block whatever my head doesn't move out of the way of. My feet are moving, right? My head is moving side to side, up and down, right? And you just practice those simple movements and it's going to look like magic. And you're going to avoid most of those strikes just by default, just by having your guard up, just by moving the head and the feet. You'll avoid most of the strikes. And just by having your chin down a little bit, you'll notice that last one landed right there on the forehead instead of on the soft stuff. This is much better to get hit on than that. So you probably heard the term intelligently defend yourself at all times. Yeah, every professional referee starts a fight like that. Listen to my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Fight. You heard that before? If you watch the UFC or a boxing match or a kickboxing match, you've heard something like that. Protect yourself at all times. How do you do that? Intelligently. Well, on the feet, move your head, move your feet. Don't be a sitting duck. Don't wait for the other guy to throw that punch with your hands down thinking, I'm going to dodge it when the time comes, because by the time comes, it's going to be too late. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.
Brought to you by xmartial.com. Use my code Ramsey10 for 10% off everything. That's xmartial.com. High quality training gear and fight apparel. And since everybody always asks, if you have questions that you want answers to, just leave them in the comments below. I read your comments, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this groovy music. Now get out there and train.